men's testosterone has been dropping for decades. Chances are you may have seen articles recently discussing this issue. And this is not a newly discovered phenomenon. Researchers have known this decrease in testosterone has been happening for years.
Men are not meant to be dominant. Men are meant to be submissive. Because men do not have the ability to think for themselves.
Yeah, where are all
the men gone? That's the focus of tonight's angle.
I immediately, as soon as I felt safe enough, ran and called 911 and tried to help the best I could. I'm just glad that you were there and you were able to take action so quickly. And I felt safe before, but now I feel extra safe. I know that he'll protect me no matter what.
How's it feel to be a dad?
Congratulations.
Set the hook. Stay on him, son. Come on. Hold up. Let me tighten this up. Oh gosh, that's a good one. Come on. Stay on it. Stay on it, son. Come on. Stay on it. Come on. Get him up. Really. Come on. Crank back. Don't let him pull you in. Come on. Real, son. That's a big one. Come on. Stay on him. Don't let him jump. Come on, son. Yeah! Let's freaking go, boy! Let's go!
Daring rescue from 2020 in France had everyone holding their breath. 2 children were dropped from a window of an apartment building to save them from a fire. People on the ground gathered to catch them. The children were taken to the hospital for smoke inhalation. They were unharmed by the fall from the window. But the Good Samaritans who helped them needed treatment for fractured forearms.
They can't get out because they hurt like the knee so bad.
Oh, you are the man. Yeah. Lifesaver right there, man. Jeez.
This burning home on Union Street. He tells a firefighter here there is a 6-year-old inside the home. The firefighter runs toward this house, but it turns out a citizen actually got into the burning home first. This is Nicholas Bostic that you see here carrying a girl to safety. That girl is okay, but Nicholas breathed in a lot of smoke that night. He suffered a severe cut on his arm. So Nicholas told them he was driving, saw the house on fire, so he stopped, went up to the house, got in a back door, opened it up, and yelled that the house was on fire. Then Nicholas goes upstairs and finds 4 kids who are asleep. He helps get those kids out safely. Then Nicholas learns that a 6-year-old girl is still inside the burning home. So he crawls on the floor, he hears a child cry. Once he found the girl, he broke open a 2nd-story window and he jumped out with her.
Please tell me that baby's okay.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, she's okay. 100%? Yep, you're okay. You did good, dude. Okay.
The 11-year-old gymnast does a handstand split on the high bar. Suddenly, her hands slip. That's when her coach steps in and catches her a split second before she hits the mat head first. Look at that amazing save.
explosive. He told us he was simply doing what any father would do.
One bullet struck right where his 6-year-old son was sitting.
It just missed his head.
Ow! You have to sleep. No, I want bed. You're sick. No, I don't. You're sick. No!
Lay down, be quiet.
The house was engulfed in smoke. I seen my mom and my niece were standing at the door and they were frantic.
They were frantic not just because the house was on fire, but Ray Lucas says he knew his twin 18-month-old girls, Milan and Malaysia, were still inside, asleep in the basement, every second a matter of life and death.
Like, I just knew I had to get my babies out. Like, that's what went through my mind.
Who's gonna carry the boats and the logs?
Growing up, my dad is the man of the house. There's no conversation about that. There was a respect. There was order to the house. It didn't mean that we loved him more or we put him at a higher pedestal than my mother. But as a leader of this family, of what happens to this family, we looked at him. But it fell more responsibility. It wasn't a pride thing. It wasn't an ego thing. Like, if we only had one meal, my father wasn't the one eating it. If we were cold and there was only one blanket, my father wasn't the one using it. If there was a fire in the building and me and Jessica were in a building lit on fire, my mom and dad are not going to be sitting outside discussing, okay, who's equally going to go into the fire right now. My father would say, stay here. I'm going in. And I think people misconstrued this idea of like it's worth more. Right. But it's actually not. He put us above him. Yeah. And so like it just broke my heart that I'm watching people say like, oh, the man in the house, like, yo, that's fucked up. Like, they should be equal. Like, they're shitting on them. And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. Did you just really take everything that they sacrificed and threw it back in their face?
With the rise of single motherhood in the West, it's important for us to remember that the single most important factor in a child's life is having a father in their life. It's a better predictor of their future than their education level and how much money they were raised with in the household. So even if you have a pile of money, if there's no father at the house, you're putting the kid at a huge disadvantage. 63% of all kids that end themselves come from fatherless homes. 90% of all homeless and runaway children come from fatherless homes. 80% of all rapists with anger problems come from fatherless homes. 14 times the national average. 71% of all high school dropouts come from fatherless homes, and the list goes on and on and on and on. I need y'all to hear this next statistic. Daughters without a father in the household are 53% more likely to marry as teenagers, and a whopping 711% more likely to have children as teenagers. If you're a mother, even if you're separated, the single most important thing you can do to be a good mother is to make sure that those kids have a father figure in their lives. And if you're a dad, I don't care if it's the court system or a bitter baby mama, but you gotta fight to be in those kids' lives because their lives might depend on it. Till next time.